reaction by Sha'Carri Richardson, also Tiana Daniels, but the best reaction, Kayla White for North Carolina A&T. Here comes Richardson, the phenomenal freshman, wins the front end of the double. Let's watch the time, 10:75.
Oh my goodness!
With legal win.
That is the best.
Dawn Sewell is gone. And a world junior record for the freshman. Whoa!
Wow, the best time ran in collegiate history for Sha'Carri Richardson.
30 years it's been.
Holy.
Dawn Sewell from Provo and LSU. By the way, she had to run under 10:89 to get the school record.
Hello, welcome to Tigers Roar. I am Jonathan Poche alongside with TK, Tommy Christ-Sand. Happy to be joined by him back here on set at Scoreboards, 10655 Corsi Boulevard on a Wednesday afternoon. TK, glad to have you with me.
Hey man, glad to be here. Happy to be back on the set of Tigers Roar. You and Buddy and Jordy, I haven't been here a couple weeks. I've been doing a great job. I get to watch it a little bit sometimes, not all the time, but I'm happy to be back at Scoreboards. I'm happy to be back around Tigers Roar. A lot of people checking it out.
You saw in the opening clip Sha'Carri Richardson setting the collegiate history, breaking the 100 meters in under 11 seconds, 10.75. Baseball just ended with the Super Regional in Baton Rouge. When you make a collegiate history, you make the opening clip of Tigers Roar.
Well, no question about it. There's no surprise. You know, LSU track and field is probably the most underpublicized program in the country. I mean, their success goes back decades and always have world-class athletes in the different events, track and field events. No surprise to see another LSU track star doing great, setting records, and you know, it's just it shouldn't surprise anybody when LSU track and field or one of its athletes does great.
You'll hear from Miss Richardson a little bit later on in this program. The track and field program just finished up the NCAA championships in Austin, Texas over the weekend. Made some noise, both in the men's and women's side. Women's finished third, they podium. Men finished seventh. The 22nd time in a row, the men's track and field finished in the top 10 at the NCAA championship. So, like I said, underpublicized, but very good for a very long time.
Premier program in the country. It's among the elite. I'm sure there's other great programs, but LSU's certainly in that conversation.
We'll talk a lot about baseball on this Tigers Roar. Super Regionals just finished up in Baton Rouge. LSU got swept out of town by Florida State. Coach Mike Martin, a legend in the game, his 40th year, his last year. The Seminoles heading back to Omaha.
Florida State was the better team, no question. Now let's point this out. Yeah, they were a number 3 seed going in the tournament. They roll into Athens, Georgia, against a national seed, and they win 3 straight games in Athens.
Yep.
Then they roll into Baton Rouge, Alex Box Stadium, great crowd on hand, as one would figure, and they win 2 straight games. Made 3 errors in one of them games. They were able to overcome that. They were the better team. There's no other way to slice it.
Yep.
You know, and you tip your hat, and what a story with Mike Martin. 40 wins for 40 years. It was funny. Fortunately, I got to meet him really quick at the batting practice the other day. I said, Coach Martin, your first year, the head coach at Florida State, I was playing college baseball. He goes, man, you're getting old. But you know, a friend of mine from Pensacola was recruited by Mike Martin when he was an assistant at Florida State under Dick Hauser, who went on to the Yankees. He said was a great guy back then. He's still a great guy. There are going to be a lot of people pulling for the Seminoles in Omaha.
Yep.
You know, I'm one, like I was pulling. I'd like to see Arkansas, after coming so close last year, that pop
One
up.
foul ball.
Should have been caught, but it wasn't, and they, you know, then the national championship got away. Yep. But you know, Florida State, that story. I don't know if you can make a better script than Hollywood, but if they could win it, especially because they've never won it for Coach Martin, that would be unbelievable. But if they keep playing the baseball they played in Athens and in Baton Rouge, you line up starting Saturday in Omaha, and you never know what could happen. But they were the better team. LSU, lots of mistakes, you know, and sometimes the little things are the big things. They just didn't get it done. And you got to tip your hat to Florida State.
Even if you don't have as much talent on your side in baseball, if you do the little things right, you give yourself a chance to win. If you don't do the little things right, you hurt yourself.
Tough to overcome it, you know? I mean, you can't get guys thrown out on the bases, picked off third. You can't let that happen on a Tuesday night in March. You certainly can't let it happen in the Super Regional. But LSU was one of 16 teams still playing when over 300 started. So you got to give them credit for that. It's really it doesn't make sense. It's hard to digest that #1 preseason, Then they rolled through it, had struggled in some midweek games, did have some injuries, but all teams have injuries. And then all of a sudden, they get hot and make some hay in May. And, they're in a super regional. They got, the stars lined up. Georgia gets beat. Right. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been a super regional in Baton Rouge. So, we'll see. LSU's got a lot of reloading to do for next year.
LSU baseball, we'll talk a lot more about that here in this program, along with, who takes the blame, the players or the coaching staff? I mean, a lot of people give a lot of heat to the coaching staff of the small mistakes. Florida definitely seemed like the better coach team.
Well, they did the little things. It's the little things are always the big things. I've heard Coach Kadar say that, on this station many a time, and he's a Hall of Fame coach. Yep. It's the little things that are really the big things. And every now and then you can overcome a little mistake. But when you start adding up little mistakes against a good team, that's the other thing. I had some people telling me the other day, said, hey, what happened to LSU? I'm like, by the way, those guys in the other dugout, they're on scholarship.
Pretty good.
They earned their way there.
Right.
Their coach is getting paid to win. Sometimes you got to give credit the other side. Yeah, LSU had some mistakes, didn't do some things good, but Florida State was the better team.
Florida State just got hot at the right time towards the end of the season, was one of the last 4 teams to make the tournament, make it all the way through their regional in Athens, as you mentioned, spanked up on the Georgia Bulldogs, who were a 4 seed, came to Baton Rouge, handled business in 2 games. Now Coach Mike Martin, 40 years at the helm, 40 wins every season, unbelievable, not one single national championship. I think it's time for the Seminoles to try to get it done.
And you know what, if they don't win it, he'll be the first to tell you it was a great ride, it was a great run, and he's impacted thousands of kids and families in a positive way above and beyond baseball. That's the kind of person he is. And again, I think there'll be a lot of people in Baton Rouge, a lot of people in Louisiana go pull for Mike Martin, when he gets to Omaha, and if by some chance they end up winning it, I think I'll be happy for him.
Coach Martin, very well received in Baton Rouge. As soon as they got off the bus, there were opposing fans, LSU fans, asking for autographs or pictures to hug him. So it was a very nice, well reception. And Coach Martin, really, that didn't get lost on him. He was very appreciative, spoke very highly of Baton Rouge.
LSU baseball fans are the best fans in the country. They know the game. Right. They know the history. They know a lot about who's coming in to play against the Tigers, whether it's the Southeastern Lions or it's Florida State in a super regional. They're probably the most knowledgeable and educated and passionate baseball fans you're going to find. So not surprised to hear that. I saw a couple of those clips, and I'm sure Coach Martin genuinely appreciated that. But they treat everybody like that. I remember years ago they cooked for the other team in the old sub-regional thing. They feed the other players. I mean, that's just what happens out there with the greatest fans in the world for LSU baseball.
It is a great atmosphere, but baseball's now over. Now it's time to start thinking football.
Football, huh?
That's right.
Media days are like a month away.
That's right. We'll hear from Mike Scarborough. It was a big weekend for recruiting.
Always big weekend.
Official visits, some guys committing to LSU, 1 decommit. We'll get all that and much more from Mike Scarborough, TigerBait.com, a little bit later on here on Tigers Roar. Also some New Orleans Saints, some NFL mini camps heading on. In Metairie, Louisiana, my hometown. Happy to say the facility.
It cooled off a little bit for the mini camp.
It gave them a little break. No rain, which is kind of weird. They didn't have to move it indoors, which is like every year since they came back from Millsaps from doing their mini camp out there. But yeah, Sean Payton, Drew Brees, the whole crew. We'll hear from some of those guys here on Tigers Roar. TK, still hanging around Pelican a little bit, but got a new gig. Want to tell everybody what you're doing these days?
Well, I'm still doing some stuff for Pelican, just kind of a different role, and I'm handling some behind-the-scenes things. But I got an opportunity to join the Moxie Dola team, blowing up, expanding down in Jefferson Parish, Orleans, soon to be in St. Bernard, my home parish. You see the phone number and the website address. Check it out if you're a small business looking for a few new customers, want to save some cash, have some happy employees. Moxie Nola is perfect for you. Again, Jefferson Parish, Orleans Parish, St. Bernard Parish, the West Bank, Moxie Nola. Give us a call, or you can submit an email at the website address. We'll have a member of the Moxie Nola team contact you. And it's great for small businesses. It's really blowing up and exploding down in the greater New Orleans area, following the great job done in Baton Rouge. They got a community in Lafayette that does well, Acadiana Trust. So Moxie Nola, check it out in the greater New Orleans area.
We'll take our first break here on Tigers Roar, but before we go, I want to tell you about Scoreboards, 10655 Coursey Boulevard. If you haven't checked it out, do yourself a favor, come try the food, the atmosphere. It's all good. Huge bar, nice dining area in the back. Monday's available for parties if you want to rent it out, but every other day of the week, great lunch special going on. You see it right there. Tuesday's chicken fettuccine. Wednesday, that's today, red beans and rice with sausage. That is outstanding. Thursday, hamburger steak, and the Friday, crawfish etouffee. It's all good. It's all fun here at Scoreboards. Something going on every single day, including on Thursdays. Bike night will start around 4 o'clock, and then the live music. Studio 4
Unplugged.
Eagle 98.1's house band, Studio 4, will be here playing some classic rock, some country. And there you see the special $17 beer buckets. Can't beat that with a stick. Dogs and beer. It's all
You
good.
gonna get me some boiled shrimp or what?
We might get you some boiled shrimp.
Can Marty boil the shrimp?
The honored special co-host for
Hey,
tonight.
the best, man. I want some boiled shrimp.
But check us out here at Scoreboards, 10655 Coursey Boulevard. Got something going on each and every day. I'm Jonathan Poche. He's Tommy Krysan. Come back and join us right after this break.
Remember what these trips were like before you put the screens in the back seats?
I don't want to think about it.
Are we there yet? I'm hungry. Where are we?
That game should keep them occupied.
Oh, yeah!
Dad.
Oh, in your face!
Don't make me get back there.
You don't need a new car to have new technology. Mike's Audio, conveniently located on Airline Highway near the corner of Bluebonnet.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Hi, I'm Jordy Helper for Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market at 12451 Old Jefferson Highway. Chairman's Reserve steaks, their pork, their chicken, their seafood, top of the line. Primo barbecue pits, Icy Tech coolers. They can go anywhere and cater anything for you. Go to 751-7665 to call Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market, where good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market.
Eagle 98.1 with Condon Uncensored in the morning. Southern Rock with Michelle Southern to head home. Your home for LSU sports. Welcome to Eagle 98.1, the rock station.
Welcome back to Tigers Roar. I am Jonathan Poche, joined by TK Tommy Krysan here on Tigers Roar. Lucky to be joined by the man himself, Mike Scarborough from TigerBait.com. Mike, good evening. How are you?
Hey, glad to be with you.
Mike, it was a big weekend for recruiting. I was trying to watch some baseball, some super regional baseball over the weekend, but I kept hitting my Twitter line, and Coach O with that Hold That Tiger had everybody on their toes. What happened? Who came in? What's going on with recruiting?
Well, they had a nice official visit weekend. They had 6 official visitors, and you had a 7th arrive on Monday in Cole Taylor, the tight end. In fact, I got a recruiting update on him and how well his visit went. But yeah, Man, look, what LSU is doing recruiting this year, it seems to get better and better. And, obviously got Major Burns last week. Then Ali Gay, the defensive end, committed Sunday morning. Jordan Tolles the day before on Saturday during his official visit from St. Francis Academy in Baltimore, a safety. It's just, now they're down to 17 commitments, and 13 of the 17 are from out of state. It was 18 with Cortland Ford dropping off yesterday. Really has not recovered from some knee issues, and I think that both parties agreed to go in a different direction. So now that puts LSU, we've talked about them needing 4 offensive linemen in this class. Now they're down to 1. And they need tackles in a big way. So when you start looking at the board and wondering where the tackles are going to come from, Marcus Dumerville from, Jacksonville, Florida's teammate Martinez is already a commitment. I think he's a logical one. They will give you 2. So where are the other 2 going to come from? Can they actually get in it with Cedric Van Pran from Warren Easton? It sure, he's not been very active with LSU. He hasn't been on campus hardly at all. But he's also a center guard. They really need a lot of tackles. You really don't have a true tackle on the roster right now. And I know there was some discussion back in December, January that for the 2020 class, they'd like for every offensive lineman in the class to be tackles if they could get them.
Hey, Mike, I was lucky enough to coach Major Burns in baseball when he was younger, and I know him very well. And I'm here to tell you, when he was 10, 12 years old, it was completely obvious that he was the best athlete on the field, no matter in that dugout, the other team's dugout. Really good, solid kid, and if he ends up at LSU, Tiger fans are going to be very pleased. No, he is a very good defensive back. He's a cornerback now. It might end up being a safety, but he's got the ability to play all 3 spots in the secondary, nickel as well. But and then he's got brother Theodore Knox at Southern Lab, who's a 21 wide receiver. And just before coming on with you guys, I'm tweeting out clips of him at the Texas A&M camp today on the receiving end of a pass from Walker Howard, Jamie Howard's son. Very good.
You got a couple of Louisiana kids performing at Jimbo Fisher's Texas A&M camp today.
Mike, I want to talk about the JUCO transfer. I know a lot of people were kind of high on Gay, and it was somebody the Tigers really wanted to get. He's a big body, 6'6". What do you like about his game, and how can he help the Tigers?
We were the first one to get info and a story on him. I know Christian LaCouture is part of the recruiting process with him, of course, with Coach Johnson and Orgeron and the whole staff. And you look at him, he's 6'6", 6'7", about 280. And when I'm watching some recent spring footage that was out there on him, I'm like, man, he sure does remind me of Isaiah Buggs. I go pull up Isaiah Buggs' NFL profile, and that's their measurements are almost identical. So,
wow.
But there's one thing that I've been told of some people I trust who've seen him in person and seen him work. They think he's got a lot more untapped potential and a higher ceiling than Isaiah Buggs. So, you're about to lose a lot of defensive linemen. You undersigned last year. So I think maybe they're going for a good mix where they not only want a strong defensive line group of freshmen, but the idea of also having a guy that's a few years older and a little bit more mature in the mix. He originally signed with Washington out of high school. He's from the suburbs of Seattle. And when you see the film of him as a high school senior and you look at him now, you can see why someone would say he is nowhere near where his ceiling could be.
Right. We're looking at some highlights right now on the screen, and 6'6", but it looks like he can still fill out a little bit. He has some weight left to be gained, I think, and get a little bit stronger.
Yeah, he's got big legs, big lower body, and in his commitment story with us, he talked about where they were talking about lining him up, and it was basically everywhere.
Wherever he wants.
They might put him in the middle. They might rush him off the edge. You might, 9 technique, 6 technique. I mean, he kept rattling off all the techniques. So it was. They obviously think he's got a lot of possibilities for them.
Another guy that committed over the weekend, Mr. Jordan Tolles, not only in football, but thinking about playing some basketball for the Tigers too. That is a great get for both programs.
Yeah. I got confirmation over the weekend that he indeed did meet Will Wade. He actually arrived in town, and on Friday went and watched the LSU basketball team work out, met with Coach Wade. Of course, a lot of them were at the Super Regional Baseball game on Saturday, so I know that was a big factor for Gay. They got a nice taste of LSU fans in supporting athletic teams. So that environment at Alex Box was an eye-opener for a lot of those kids. Of course, it's not 100,000 in Tiger Stadium, but I think a lot of these kids, particularly out of state, I think a lot of them are going to make, their official visits. So they get all their airfare and their hotels paid for, but I think a lot of these kids somehow, some way are going to make their way back during the football season for a football game. I just think right now, when you look at the number of commitments and what's left on the board and knowing what the spots are going to be, a month or so ago we were talking about, man, why are they bringing all these official visits now so early? Well, now you understand why.
Yep.
In reality, you've got an offensive lineman 7-on-7 camp this Saturday, and then you got one more big camp, the 20th through the 22nd. And this class for 20 is essentially done. I think the next few camps is going to be a lot of 21.
Yeah.
You've got 8 kids in Louisiana offered for 21, and 4 of those 8 are wide receivers.
Wow.
So this effort of recruiting nationally, it's not going to stop. I think next year, I don't know if the number's going to be the same and so many from out of state, but it might end up being that way, because I'm looking at 21. I see 2 defensive linemen with offers, 4 wide receivers, a safety, no quarterbacks, no running backs, no offensive linemen, no linebackers. So, not to say that there's 21 kids in Louisiana at those positions that can't materialize or show up at camp and open everybody's eyes, but you can see why LSU is having to go out of state in a big way.
Right.
The recruiting stuff never stops, and LSU's name is on the top of everybody around the country, so that's a good thing.
Yes.
Mike, you don't see a lot of basketball, football combo, 2-sport guys. I mean, yeah, baseball, football, they sometimes work out, but the scheduling is so close together between basketball season and football season, you really don't see it.
I don't know how you pull that off.
Right.
The last LSU football player to attempt it was Marcus Spears.
Right.
And remember, when he arrived at LSU, he was, certainly as heavy as he ended up being, he actually out of high school considered, could be a tight end.
Well, Big Baby tried it too.
He didn't last very long. So if you're preparing for a bowl game, how do you work that out?
Right.
Does he join the team after the bowl game? Well, the season's halfway done, and then there's a big difference between football shape and basketball shape.
Definitely.
Glenn Davis also did it at LSU, Big Baby.
Look, I mean, Tolles, he can shoot the ball well in high school, shot the ball well from beyond the arc. LSU definitely needs some outside shooters, so if they can find a way to make it work, it's all for the better.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, Mike, what else is going on in recruiting? Some official visits this weekend coming up?
I don't think this weekend. You got the camp on Saturday.
Oh, right.
But we'll see if these visits are happening during the week, so we're going to see how this plays out the rest of the way. But the camps are going to be the biggest deals here in the next couple of weeks, and then July's here, SEC football media days, and then start of practice. August 1st, 2nd, 3rd, whatever day it's going to be, it's here.
Mike, I know you mentioned Cortland Ford decommitted. He had some injuries he was dealing with, but where is he at on LSU scale? Do you think that ship has sailed? Does he have a chance to come back? I know he's from Texas, out of state, so what do you feel is going to happen?
I tend to think that maybe that relationship's probably not going to be there.
Yeah.
Where he'll end up, I'm not sure. But super kid, super family, and I still think he's got a lot of potential there. It's just getting some flexibility back, getting through the knee injuries, and getting big, getting stronger.
Yeah.
And we'll see what ends up happening with him.
All right, Mike, we certainly appreciate you spending some time with us here on Tigers Roar. Before we let you go, tell everybody about TigerBait.com and how they can subscribe today.
Yeah, go to TigerBait.com. We're absolutely loaded with recruiting info right now. We always give you a $1 gets you a trial period on the site. If you're an LSU fan, we absolutely want you to give us a subscription. Check us out. Got the whole front page is loaded with recruiting updates. Brian Lazar's got a real nice feature with Ferg Jawsbury. He sat down with him, an exclusive about what it's going to be, his relationship with Scott Woodward and plans for the future. That's been a real popular story up on the site. So check us out at TigerBait.com.
Thank you, Mike. Have a great night.
All right, talk next week. Thanks.
All right, thank you. That was Mike Scarborough, TigerBait.com, joining us here on Tigers Roar. Always appreciate when he stops by. A load of knowledge each and every time.
Well, Mike's been doing it for a long time, and he does a very good job at it. I know Brian Lazar helps him a lot. They got other people that, he'll call, and, but he hustles, he does it right, and that's great information. If you're not a subscriber to TigerBait.com, I got the app on my phone. You need to get it going.
I know football is just around the corner. We wanted to get you a recruiting update early on this episode of Tigers Roar. Now we're going to go back to LSU baseball. Right after this break, me and TK have a lot to talk about, including some coaching staff for the LSU Tigers. Come back and join us here on Tigers Roar after this. Once again, I'm Jonathan Poche. He's Tommy Chrysan. We're on Tigers Roar.
Creel Tree Service is a licensed and insured tree service providing tree and stump removal, topping, trimming, cabling, pruning, and fertilizing. We have free stump removal with takedowns, free estimates, affordable rates, and senior citizens discounts. Call 774-TREE. That's 774-8733. Get your yard ready for the warmer weather. If it deals with a tree, call me, Creel Tree Service, 774-8733. That's 774-TREE.
When my wife and I started Relief Windows, what we were trying to do, what our goal was to give a quality job to a homeowner. Everybody's scared of contractors. We wanted to change the mold of what that is. Not showing up on time, not answering the phone, somebody running with your money. The reason why you should pick Relief Windows to do your renovation of your home, windows, doors, HardiePlank, or siding, is because of the experience, quality service of our company. Service is everything we have. It's the foundation of our company. We're going to show up on time. We're going to do the job right. Over 60% of our customers is customer referral. We're a local company here in Baton Rouge, built in Baton Rouge, staying in Baton Rouge. Okay. The job's not done until you're happy and we're happy. It's built the old-fashioned way, with a handshake. Here at Relief Windows, it's an honor to be official window, door, and siding company of LSU Athletics, from one winning team to another.
Remember the smell of vinyl? What happened to all your old records? Lost in a move? Thrown out by the ex? Get them back. Classic Vinyl's record store and collectibles, 13847 Coursey, where you can find all old vinyl, all genres of music, rock, country, blues, and R&B. Classic Vinyls and collectibles behind Mary Lee Donuts and Coursey. If they don't have it, they'll get it. Look for them on Facebook. Classic Vinyls, sponsors of Classic Vinyls Classic Rock Night Thursdays at Scoreboards on Coursey.
The Acord Eye Clinic has moved to a new office, just minutes from the old office at 8280 YMCA Plaza Drive, Building 9. Dr. Shonda Acord and her staff welcome patients of all ages, including children and adults. They have a wide variety of frames and sunglasses, including Maui Jim. The Acord Eye Clinic features modern instruments and state-of-the-art technology, including digital retinal scanning with Optomap, hard-to-fit contact lenses, as well as professional care and service. Open Monday through Friday, 8 till 5. Call for an appointment, 225-767-EYES, and visit the website, visionsource-br.com. The Acord Eye Clinic looks forward to seeing you.
Hey, it's Mike Benson from Rock at Work inviting you to Classic Vinyls Classic Rock Night at Scoreboards on Corsi with my band Studio 4 as the house band playing from 8 till 9 every Thursday, then a guest spot from area talent directly after. You can submit your demo to Mike at Eagle981.com for a chance to perform. Join us for Studio 4's Classic Vinyls Jam Night every Thursday from Scoreboards on Corsi, brought to you by Classic Vinyl Records and Eagle 98.1.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-654-9927, 800-654-9927.
Welcome back to Tigers Roar here on a Wednesday evening from Scoreboards, 10655 Corsi Boulevard. If you haven't done so, come check it out. TV's all over the wall. Sports going on all the time. Great food, great atmosphere. It's family friendly, so you can bring the kiddies. It's all good here at Scoreboards.
Great stuff. TVs everywhere. If you can't find a TV when you're in here, you're not looking.
Want to get back to some LSU baseball. The Baton Rouge Super Regional was this past weekend. The Tigers hosted the Seminoles of Florida State. Coach Mike Martin, his 40th and final season at the top of the program for the Seminoles. I have a little highlight package from that last game, or game 2 of the Super Regional. I want you to go ahead and play that in the truck and get you all caught up with what we'll be talking about here on an upcoming segment of Tigers Roar.
Beloso kicks it back, need to tag it home, and they got it for a second, and they'll say he's out. The ball came loose. Martin will go ahead and step on the dish. Home plate umpire Tony Morris had to have seen the ball come out in the tag and still punched him out.
I don't think he ever saw the ball come up. The throw was perfect. Beloso did everything right at first base. All 3 umpires, I think the other 3 saw it, and they might reverse this one. But Beloso, great job at first base. The presence takes him to his left, tags him, perfect throw to home. The tag is there, but the ball flies out. That should be reversed. You get runners now at second and third, as the conference is still right in front of home plate.
Eduardo, Tony Norris was looking right at the play.
Yeah, and fellas, I mean, you could see right away, too, afterwards, Garza made the motion to try to sell it and say that it was on a transfer, which from here it didn't look like it. I snuck back behind home plate. Mike Martin Jr. sprinted from the third base coach's box towards home plate right afterwards.
David. And he sends a line drive to left. J.C. Flowers will score. They'll stop Smith at third. And Florida State has jumped out to a 2-0 lead. And this flare is going to drop over the glove of Smith. Florida State out in front 3-0 here in the second. This one's launched towards right field. Wind pushing it. It is foul. No, it's gone. A home run. Antoine Duplantis with a leadoff shot here in the 4th. Nander DeSantis is saying, put the headset on. Let's review that one. Reese Albert, the right fielder, saying, I don't know what you're talking about. That one had to have been foul. And based on the reaction of the LSU crowd and the bleachers, seems they thought it was foul.
Let's see what Duplantis thinks. Sometimes that's going to be the truest thought. You knew it was gone when it left the bat, especially with the way the wind is blowing. The wind right now is going to continue to blow this ball foul. That
his junior year.
Nelson puts it up the middle. What a snag by Smith. Well, the throw was just a little bit wide. Would have been a highlight play, but great range by the Yankees draft pick. He was named to the Athens regional team. Had 3 home runs last weekend. And he slices this one to left. Nelson will be waved home from third. Becker on his way to second. He's done it again. Tim Becker with an RBI double. Josh Smith bangs one up the middle. Another leadoff hit for LSU. Their second in the last 3 innings against C.J. Van Eyck.
The leader has spoken, guys, for the LSU.
He has not handled it. I would stay with that.
Line drive, that'll get down. Smith motors past second and throws on the brakes. LSU's cooking here in the 6th.
So the difference of the elevated fastball that you really want.
Line drive, base hit. Here comes Smith. The throw from Becker goes to third. And LSU's rally is rolling now.
And it's the little things in these games that I love watching the most. And you got to see Mike Salvatore at shortstop right now because of the movement of the runners. So watch. Runners start to go. Salvatore breaks towards second. Now he's about maybe 5 feet further than he would have been. I don't know if he gets to it anyway. But that movement right there, Smith thought he saw something.
Snap throw to third. Got him! A pickup by the freshman Matthew Nelson.
That can't happen. And again, we talk about trying to do a little too much. Your run does not matter. You talk about deflating the box here. Takes too big of a lead at third. Nelson, a called play. Mendoza heads up. He's there. A perfect throw. The freshman catcher picking up.
And this one's lifted to center. Should end the inning. Flowers coming in. Becker is there. It'll be the center fielder, J.C. Flowers. The pickoff changed everything. LSU got breaking ball hit the opposite way. Josh Smith with the leadoff double. It gets all the way into the bullpen in trouble for Becker. And the tying run will come to the plate in the 8th.
What a piece of hitting by Josh Smith. I mean, think about all the things that are going through his head. The best leadoff hitter leading off an inning. Came into this series hitting .452 leading off an inning. Takes the curveball, goes the other way with it. Gets on base, not only that, into scoring position. Possibly being his last at-bat as a Tiger. Making sure it's not. What a piece of hitting.
In the air to left, long run, Becker towards the line. It'll drop. Smith to be waved home. Becker's throw is off the mark, and taking second is Duplantis. It's a one-run game in the 8th. He just got the hand taped after sliding across the warning track.
How fitting. Antoine Duplantis, all-time hits leader at LSU, gets on base again. But right here, throw the ball to second base. You throw it home. That does not help you at all. Now you put the tying run at second base instead of keeping him at first. Throw goes to third. Antoine Duplantis.
Ripped to third, off the glove of Mendoza, and we are tied. Headed to third, Cabrera, safe. Headed to second, Watson.
Can't do it.
Can't happen.
Out at the bag.
That cannot happen.
It happened yesterday, and Watson's so aggressive, but man, does that change the course of this inning. He's immediately asking for Palmineri to come out and take a look, which I think you have to in this case. But
needs to tell him, I'm okay. There comes a time you have to protect him against himself.
There's a good swing right there. Salvatore, first pitch breaking ball, and he was sitting on it.
First hit since the 4th inning for Florida State. Remember, this is LSU Stadium, but Florida State Here's the 0-2 to Albert. Off the glove of Garza. Salvatore will get a free 90.
What a big break right there for Florida State. 0-2 trying to elevate a fastball, and Garza just missed it. Just flat missed it. And for the Noles right now, base hit could win this ball game, send Mike Martin back to Omaha. Look at the eyes.
The 2-2 to Mendoza. Line drive, base hit, around third, Salvatore. The throw never gets there. Mike Martin's going back to Omaha. Another chance at the brass ring. His first trip to the stadium.
All right, they saw the replayed action of Saturday night's Super Regional in Baton Rouge. LSU, too many mistakes to overcome. Well, they did tie it up, but I mean, those mistakes catch up with you. Eventually, you see Sal Garza kind of flail out one. Win and run advances to second. I think Paul Mainieri should have walked Drew Mendoza, their best hitter, but hey, hindsight's 2020.
Well, he's a Hall of Famer, and he made a decision for the reasons he had. I would have walked somebody. You know, I mean, the guy on second is the one that matters. Right. So let's walk. Let's set up a force. Maybe we get a line drive, double somebody off. Play the percentages. But he's the head coach, and he had his reasons. Something about the guy strikes out, and the next guy hits very well. I'm sure he had his research done. And if it would have worked, that guy that popped up, then he's a genius, you know. Right. And then when it don't work, you get questioned. And look, let me say this: it's easy to coach from the sofa. Right. It's easy to coach sitting here at scoreboards.
Monday morning quarterback.
You know, it's different when you're in the dugout. I can tell you.
I feel bad for Devin Fontenot, a guy that threw almost 6 innings of no-hit baseball, his longest outing of the year. I think he had 62 pitches. It was his longest outing before Saturday night. Went over 90, came out in the 12th. I don't know if he still had his best stuff, but yeah, Coach Mainieri said Drew Mendoza was struggling with the fastball. Devin Fontenot was still hitting 93, so he left him in. I don't agree with the call, but I'm not paid to coach LSU baseball.
Well, no, Fontenot, he was a warrior. Yeah. He left, the old saying, leave it out there. He did everything he could to give his teammates a chance. They didn't capitalize, they didn't get him a lead. Right. He kept battling. And again, Florida State was the better team. Yep. That's what you can't lose sight of, that they were clearly the better team in Baton Rouge this past weekend.
You mentioned you leave Fontenot in because you don't know, if you have a guy that's going to come in and do better, throw better strikes. Do you agree with in the first game of Super Regional, starting Cole Henry? I know said he was feeling good before the game, only gave you 2 innings, had to get deep into that bullpen for the first game of the series. That really hindered LSU in game 2.
It did a little bit, but you got to try to win every game. You can't, we're going to roll the dice here. They thought they could get more out of him. They didn't. Peterson did a pretty darn good job until he ran out of gas. He was battling. I mean, he was trying to do it for his teammates. Again, hindsight's 2020. But but when you're Paul Mainieri right there, you got to manage that game and the fact that there could be 2 more games. Right. And what do you have down in the pen? And again, it's easy for me and you to sit here on a Wednesday at scoreboard and figure it out. It's tough when you got to do it, and nobody knows his team better than him. But again, they made mistakes that they could not overcome. No doubt in my mind the players tried as hard as they could. They wanted to win. The coaches wanted to win. It just didn't get done. Yeah. And I'm being repetitive, but Florida State's a pretty good team.
Yeah. Game 1 of the Super Regional, Reese Albert hit a 3-run homer that almost went over the Marucci building, hit the bat flip. I know how much you love the bat flip. And what did he do the next game? 5 strikeouts. Okay. The platinum sombrero.
Somebody was at the park told me that was the furthest ball they'd ever seen hit in person.
Oh, yeah.
This guy's a baseball guy. Right. He told me I've never seen a ball hit that far. Now, right. I've seen some hit. I served up 1 or 2. Yeah. Chuck Melito from Tulane hit one off me. As the old saying goes, it might not have landed yet. He hit that thing in 1980. But So I was watching when that happened, but hey, the way you look at it, it's just a home run, no matter how far it goes. But the bat flip, I don't like all that stuff. Maybe the baseball guys got him next night.
They got him. We talked about all the mistakes LSU had. Do you put really the blame on the players or the coaching staff? Not only Paul Mainieri, but his assistants.
I think everybody's got to take blame. You're going to win together, you're going to lose together. And so you take the blame, okay? But I think at the college level, you're in the SEC. And let me say this. The SEC West is the best division in college football, no question asked. It's also the best division in college baseball, no questions asked. And then in baseball, you throw in Vanderbilt and Georgia from the East, clearly the best conference in America, with all due respect to the other conferences who have a lot of good coaches and baseball players. So you're playing in with the best, and if Coach Mainieri gave you a uniform, you got to have the baseball IQ. You got to have it, be able to look in that mirror and say, I got to do better.
Yeah.
I got to do this for my teammates, So I put some blame on the players. They got to be accountable. The college baseball players in the SEC, the coaches. Mainieri said he should have told Jamaco something different. Well, then you should have told him.
Should have told him something different.
So something, but again, I don't think you point fingers at a player or a coach. I think everybody shares the blame. I mean, Paul Mainieri is a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Okay, he's won a lot of baseball games.
Right.
He's going to win a lot more.
Yep.
Okay, so. Sometimes you tip your hat to another team, but then what you have to do if you're LSU and whatever players are coming back, whatever new players come in, you got to learn from it. You can't get picked off third.
Yeah.
Again, on a Tuesday night in March, you can't get picked off with third. You have to have that baseball IQ. You can't miss second.
Right.
But and I'm sure Coach Dunn called some pitches he probably would call differently if he could do it again, but you don't get to do it again.
Right.
Coach Mainieri might have not pitched to the guy if he'd have knew the result. Bottom line is this: LSU is one of the best baseball programs in the country. When there were only 16 teams playing, they were one of them.
Right.
They got beat by a better team that weekend for sure. If LSU and Florida State play this weekend, another 2 out of 3 series, LSU might win it.
Right.
But they don't get that chance. You had your chance. It didn't happen. Tip your hat to the Seminoles and go learn from it.
Congratulations to the Florida State Seminoles and Coach Mike Martin. I want to let you hear from Coach Martin. I know this is Tigers Roar, but Coach Martin is an absolute legend in college baseball. If you don't like Coach Martin, you're not really a fan of college baseball. I mean, the guy's on a Mount Rushmore.
Well, he means to Florida State baseball and to Tallahassee. Everything that Skip Bertman means here, Rod Dado, man, out at Southern Cal, and, Ron Polk up at Mississippi State. We can go down the list, okay? And so he is a college baseball icon.
Yeah.
No question about it. His track record speaks for itself, but everywhere you look, people tell stories about what a great guy he is.
Right.
Okay. I saw an interview with him on social media a couple of weeks ago, and they asked him what was the biggest change in college baseball now compared to when he first got going or whatever. And he made a comment that there's not enough teaching going on.
Yeah.
You're not teaching the fundamentals and teaching the little things and getting the baseball IQ raised up. He said, a lot of times you write out a lineup, you tell the guys to go play.
Yeah.
He said that's the thing that's changed. There's not as much teaching as he thinks there should be.
Yeah.
And again, he's a Hall of Famer. He's an icon. Nobody has won more college baseball games as a head coach than he had.
Right.
And no one that may ever pass him.
42 years straight with at least 40 wins for the Seminoles. I'm going to let you hear from old number 11, Coach Mike Martin from the Florida State Seminoles.
You think number 11 is going to get retired in Tallahassee?
Pretty quickly. Here's Coach Mike Martin here on Tigers Roar.
Grazing.
Nothing but steaks from here on out, right?
I'm going to tell you what, we're already counting the hours before we get to the steakhouse that we like so much out there. It's obviously when you can qualify for the College World Series, it's a memory, and very, very excited for our guys. The time that they've put in to position themselves and then accomplish what they did. It's something that they and us and Seminoles everywhere will always remember.
Did you fall in love with Omaha the first time you went out there as a coach?
Yeah, I did. The way that I learned that, of course, it was Rosenblatt Stadium back then, and the zoo was close by, and the Zesto ice cream was right across the street. I got to know some people that I'm still friends with today, and it's really the heartland of America. Omaha, Nebraska is a special place, and certainly it's great to have a venue in which everybody enjoys going out there because of the people.
Has it really set in that, you're going back out there, your final season? I mean, just what's this like?
Well, I guess driving over here today, I got to thinking, heck, this will be the last practice that I have at Florida State. And I got to thinking, I think I'll get inside as quick as I can. So I did. I got inside before I got to thinking of my first practice here at Florida State, not only as a player, but as a coach. And it's been a great ride. I'm excited for our young men. I'm excited that because they've earned what they're getting ready to do tomorrow, and that's get on that plane and go to Omaha.
With this season the way it went, it was so many ups and downs. Does it make you think about this trip a little bit more and realize that this one means maybe just a little bit more too?
Yeah, I think when you go through what we went through, and then, gosh, 5 or 6 weeks later, we're in this situation right here. There's no question. This is one of those memories that that the credit goes to the good Lord and these young men. They have worked, and I tell you something else, guys and ladies, this coaching staff's done a tremendous job with our guys. They've done a marvelous job in scouting the opponent and just doing the things that it takes to be successful. These guys are very excited, and as well they should be. I can see them out there with a lot of bounce in their feet. They had a day off, they don't know how to act, but it's really a fun time for all of us knowing that we're going to Omaha tomorrow.
Well, Evan, obviously so many guys on this staff played for you, and of course me, Tyler Holt, list kind of goes on. What's this been like for them and being alongside them for this last one?
Every single staff member has been to Omaha at least once. Clyde went once, and I believe that Hope went twice, and Meek went twice. So it's a staff that knows what it's like to get off of that plane and play in TD Ameritrade. Tyler played in TD Ameritrade. And Rosenblatt is no longer. The animals are still there at the zoo. That's about the only thing that's still recognizable on the other side of town.
Coach, you face a highly ranked opponent in Arkansas on Saturday. Just how have these last few weeks prepared you for that?
Well, certainly we know that there'll be a huge contingent of followers of Arkansas baseball, and I wouldn't be a bit surprised if the noise will be similar to what we just experienced at Georgia and LSU. We're talking about two very, very good baseball programs with great followings, and Arkansas is a team that is at least on a level with LSU when it comes to support.
Well, Evan, on the other hand of that crowd noise, what's it been like to have that really loud, really loyal, really vocal fan base following you for these last years?
I can't express to our Seminoles what it meant to hear them yelling and screaming for our guys this far away from home, and yet they were making almost as much noise as the 10 or 11,000 that they had in the stands, and there were probably only 650, 700 Seminoles there, but believe me, our team heard them, and they were great Seminoles.
That was Mike Martin, head coach of the Florida State Seminoles, on their way to Omaha once again in his 40th and final season. I'm Jonathan Pocher. That's Tommy Krysan.
You know, I'm just thinking like next February when the college baseball season opens.
Right.
I mean, Martin's going to be like, okay. Because he was an assistant at Florida State under Dick Hauser, who went on to manage the Yankees before he became the head coach. I mean, and also going to be curious to see who they named to replace him. His son, Mike Martin Jr., has been on the staff for 22 years. So I don't know if you do that or, you know, who knows? We'll see.
TK, before we go to our next break, tell everybody about Moxie Nola, what you've been doing these days.
Well, you know, still doing a lot of things with Pelican, just some different things, but Moxie Nola, here's the deal. If you're in New Orleans, greater New Orleans area, Jefferson Parish, Orleans Parish, the West Bank, soon to be, we're going to roll out into St. Bernard Parish, my hometown of Chalmette. Give us a call, 504-321-7980, moxienola.com. You can submit your email there, and a member of the team will contact you. If you're a small business looking for some new customers, want to save some cash, got the proven commodity for you. Moxie Nola, do get in touch with us.
Certainly appreciate you being here with us, TK. Sitting in your old chair, your old set, how's it feel?
It's good, man. It's good to be at Scoreboards and see Marty and BK and seeing all the people. And of course, do the show with you, and you're doing a fine job.
I appreciate that. It's been fun. We got to get to a quick break.
I just didn't know if I could feel Buddy Sanju's shoes.
Buddy's the people champ. You can't take Buddy's place.
I didn't wear my hat and my shades, though, you know.
That's right.
I texted the Bud man earlier today. I said, man, I'm going to give you a shout out on TV tonight. We were texting, so he said, ha ha. I guess he laughed. But no, you guys have been doing good, and I know the people enjoy it in Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and New Orleans.
That's right. I'm glad you got it in. You know what I'm saying? Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans. You perfected it over the years. Tommy Krysan, I'm Jonathan Pocher. We'll be back here on Tigers Roar right after this.
Taste the feeling.
Can't wait for tonight. Where are we meeting?
Tonight? Date night? Oh. Find sushi restaurant.
Let's try wasabi sushi.
Route to sushi.
The destination is on your left.
Play our song.
Pioneer in-dash systems with Apple CarPlay. Get yours installed today at your local Mesa retailer.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Hey, it's Mike Benson from Rock at Work, inviting you to Classic Vinyls Classic Rock Night at Scoreboards on Coursey, with my band Studio 4 as the house band, playing from 8 till 9 every Thursday, then a guest spot from area talent directly after. You can submit your demo to Mike at eagle981.com for a chance to perform. Join us for Studio 4's Classic Vinyls Jam Night every Thursday from Scoreboards on Coursey, brought to you by Classic Vinyl Records and Eagle 98.1.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
For Total Home Pest Control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For total pest control for your home or business, call the original Salvant.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
Welcome back to Tigers Roar. I am Jonathan Poche, joined by special co-host TK Tommy Chrysan here on a Wednesday evening at Scoreboards, 10655 Coursey Boulevard. Been telling you all program, if you haven't seen it yet, come check it out. Do yourself a favor. Try the great food, great atmosphere, and it's kid-friendly, so you can bring the whole family here at Scoreboards. TK, want to get into some New Orleans Saints. Got their mini camp going on yesterday, today, and tomorrow in Metairie. Looking forward to a great year for the Saints.
Yeah, obviously I'm in New Orleans a lot with Moxie Nola and people talking about the Saints, man. That's all they're talking about. In fact, I was at a luncheon with the East Jefferson Business Association yesterday, and a good friend of mine who was there, I think you know her, she was leaving early to go to minicamp. You know Kat, the big Houdat?
Oh, yeah.
Kat? She's a big Saints fan.
Oh, yeah.
She was at this meeting yesterday.
Wow.
She cut out early so she could go to the minicamp.
Okay. We'll let you guys hear from head coach Sean Payton. He's talking yesterday afternoon after the first day of minicamp about how the roster's looking, who's getting the reps with the ones, and a whole bunch more. Right here from Coach Sean Payton of the New Orleans Saints here on Tigers Roar.
So we're kind of in this last week or this last stretch of our OTAs and minicamp. This is much like what we've been doing. Any questions on practice?
Your saying was prove them right a year ago. Do you have a motivation this year?
They don't have a saying yet.
No, nothing? Will you come up with one, or is it?
Yeah, we might, but we still have till training camp, so we'll think of something.
Coach, how has the running back room kind of worked so far? Latavius, how has he kind of adapted to the offense so far as you guys have kind of getting?
Look, you know, they're doing well. They're learning the system. Some of the newer players. It's really hard to evaluate when you're not in pads, you're not tackling or running. But he's someone who picks things up quick. So that part of the transition has gone well.
What about Ryan Ransom? What makes him so reliable and consistent on your offensive line?
Well, he's smart. He's talented. I think he's got a real good poise and patience about him in his game. So, you know, he's one of those guys that's pretty steady and extremely smart when it comes to the things that can happen relative to protections or in the run game. He's doing well.
Are you finding it challenging to find new ways to use Alvin in offense?
No, I think, you know, right now we're going through an installation and, you know, a little bit different than when we get into a season relative to game plan. You know, so you're kind of working your way through what we're wanting to install. There's a few things you put in, but as we get closer to the start of the regular season, you know, we'll begin to focus more on specific matchups.
Sean, I know it's hard to evaluate offensive linemen in practices like this, but mentally, how is Eric McCoy handling the install?
Yeah, real good. Real good. He got a lot of work today with the first. We've been rotating, you know, with a lot of these positions, but no, he's someone I think learns well.
I know that you all worked out the rugby player.
Yeah.
How do you evaluate that, given his learning curve is maybe so far behind?
Yeah, it's difficult. Just because, you know, yesterday was the first time he'd ever, you know, in the workout really done anything relative to this sport. but look, we're looking at him for 3 days, as a safety. He's a guy that, the vision would be for special teams, that type of thing. But look, for him, to his credit, he's starting from square one. The first time we get out and stretch today is the first time he stretched, relative to this sport. But he seemed pretty bright yesterday, just picking up the drills we were asking him, to do.
Can you talk about what a positive it is to have Cam Jordan under contract for 3 more years?
Yeah, I mean, look, I didn't see, I'm coming off the field, so, but I knew they were working on an extension, and I think that it's much deserved. And, he's someone that has been, extremely productive, and so I think it's, a good thing.
He's always been a very good player, Coach. Do you think he's become an elite player in this league?
Well, listen, I don't know. I think when his career is over, we can decide the elite, the great, the good, the very good, the 10s, the 8s. I know he's good enough right now. I'm watching him. I think he's, one of the better defensive ends, run and pass. So I'm glad he's on our team.
What does he kind of bring also just from a personality standpoint? He seems like kind of a heartbeat or leader on this team. I mean, how does that...
He's one of the leaders. Yeah, look, he's should we go back to the 11 draft when we took him? I think, number one, you lead with your performance and work on the field. He's one of those guys that's in great shape. He trains hard. So I think it starts, with the way he prepares.
I know you like your young receivers, but given their maturity and the fact that you had injury wide receiver, does it make it even more impressive what Mike Thomas did a year ago, the numbers he put up?
Listen, he's been very consistent, and he'll be the next one. I'm sure Mickey will be working, and I know that they probably already begun discussions. I leave that to those guys to handle, but yeah, he's he competes. He's durable, and he's someone that enjoys playing.
Coach, what do you have seen out of Alizé Mack and the progress he's doing?
He's doing well. He'll take a couple good steps forward. He made some plays today, and then all of a sudden he'll have a few mistakes. So like a lot of these rookies, it's a transition, a big curve for him. But he made some plays earlier in practice, so he can run well. I think the detail, play to play, relative to what he's doing is something he's working on now.
So what are some of the new things you're learning about Teddy Bridgewater now that he's actually sort of installing and running your offense for the first?
Well, I don't know specifically. I mean, I think it's a process relative to, look, he's played in the league, and he's been in some of these situations. And in fairness to Teddy, there are certain things that you would begin to build around strength-wise that I think he's exceptional at. And so, look, when you're in a OTA or you're in a mini camp and you have an installation for the masses, but he's extremely bright. I think he's got really good arm talent. He's got a demeanor about him that suits the position well, and I think he's a good leader. So I think the reps he's getting obviously are important, not only for him but for us as a team.
Sean, how do y'all evaluate or coach up the quarterbacks when it's a blitz period that just looks like it would have been a sack, and then y'all tell them to continue to play?
Well, in order for us to get the most out of a play, we'll try to finish the play. Obviously, the rush is staying off the quarterback, and look, when you get into a 2-minute drill, it's a little bit more difficult because there is a competitive nature to it. So at times we'll blow the whistle. There were a handful of sacks in our pressure period. I thought defensively looked really good. Offensively, it wasn't what we would have liked. But to try to get the most out of a play, we'll be smart that way.
Coach, obviously with Drew not here, how do you guys kind of adjust practice, or is it a little bit different with him not in the building?
No, we still start at the same time. We're going to still play with the brown round balls, and we're gonna kick field goals. And look, when you're used to having someone like Drew, who's been here going on year 14, obviously it's different. And yet, look, other guys are getting the work, and his preparation and there's that part of you that knows he's going to be obviously ready for training camp. But realistically, that's how our season can be sometimes. Hopefully not at that spot, but when you go through injuries, everything keeps moving.
Is there a limited amount you can learn in pads, without pads? And how deep into the summer before you maybe have an idea of what you have?
Well, yeah, I think to answer your question, there is a limited amount. You're still evaluating. You can learn a lot about how they learn. You can learn a lot about how they move. But every year since I've been here, there's something about the pads that define certain players that, had it not been for the pads, you might not have seen their talent. So we're slow to evaluate that way, but quick to evaluate if someone has trouble or can't learn.
What are some things that with Latavius, and obviously you mentioned him not being in pads, but what are some of the aspects of his game that you've kind of seen that you're kind of impressed with? And you did mention, I mean, his
he's smart. He's smart. He's a guy that I think has good vision, and I think you feel his leadership. I think he's a real good teammate. So we've seen the film, and you get an idea of the things he does well. But those would be the first things that come to my mind.
Sean, you had the rookie class, two big members, Reggie Bush and Marcus Colston, a week ago. You've seen this 2017 heralded class develop. Do you see similarities between the two classes as they developed a little bit?
Yeah. I mean, their similarity, first off, would be the importance of those classes, the importance of the 06 class relative to what we were able to accomplish in the years to follow a real good draft like that, and I think that same similarity exists in the 17 draft class. I think the unique thing about the 06 draft class is the amount of players. When you have two 7th-round players, playing, 23 years in the NFL, and both, having outstanding careers, that's unique. But hopefully, and we're living it right now. We're all around to be doing the same type of thing with members of that class. But I think that the significance of when that class was drafted, I'm talking about 17 now, and getting us over the hump, I think that would be the clear comparison for me.
Coach, can you speak on the impact of Joe Brady and what he had on this organization and what you expect for him at LSU? He number one, came here with some pretty good insight relative to certain elements of the passing game. He's a tremendous worker, and a guy that you could rely on occasionally for some information relative to what a quarterback or a system might be doing. His background relative to the RPO stuff was very good, and also someone who was good to work with and good to have on the staff. What have you seen early on from Cyrus Grayson, the LSU track star?
Look, he runs well. I think it's just, how quickly can he make that transition? And I know he's been with some other teams, but there's still some elements of, not having had the background or the experience, but I think he's working hard at it. Each day he's made some plays to really get you excited.
Purely as a passer, how has Taysom progressed?
Good. I think he's doing well. I thought he had a good couple good periods today in practice.
That was head coach of the New Orleans Saints, Sean Payton. You heard at the very end talking about Cyril Grayson, an LSU former sprinter, track star, possibility to make the team. Wide receiver, said he did some things that caught your eye, get some excitement going. So, hey, you never know. Sean Payton, a new roster, a lot of expectations, of course. The no call from last year. Everybody's convinced that it takes a miracle to beat the Saints in the playoffs. So, a lot of things working, including a big new extension for one of the best players on the team, Mr. Cam Jordan.
Well, they can put the best 53 guys on the roster. They'll have some guys on the practice squad, and the Saints are going to be among the favorites to win the Super Bowl, to win the NFC, to win their division. But you still got to go out there and do it. but the Saints are in a really, really good spot. And you just got to defer to Sean Payton. He's going to put some players out there that can do it. If it happens to be the Grayson kid from LSU, if he's one of the 53 best, he'll be on the roster.
Cam Jordan was drafted by the Saints in the first round a few years back. He said he wants to spend his entire career in New Orleans. He likes the community, feels like he's part of the city now, and the Saints rewarded him with a big-time extension. They sent him to 2023 with a $52.5 million extension. He's happy. It's his daughter's birthday. He was at minicamp yesterday talking about his new contract. He hadn't signed it yet at the time of this interview, but it was signed this morning. Pen to paper. Cam Jordan going to be in New Orleans for a lot longer. Great deal. Hope he retires a Saint. One of the fan favorites, of course, but also, like third in the franchise in sacks.
You talk about playing two sports. His daddy played pro baseball and pro football.
He has the pedigree. Here is Cam Jordan, number 94, defensive end for the New Orleans Saints.
Until something's officially signed, it's all hearsay to me. I'm getting congratulations from fans and players alike, and I haven't signed anything yet. So it's just a leak. It's all just random information thrown together on a timeline somewhere.
Well, if it does happen, what would that mean?
It's important for you to finish up as a Saint.
My goal from being drafted here is win a Super Bowl here. My goal is to win a Super Bowl here. My goal will be to win another Super Bowl eventually. I feel that I've always said it. I've always said that New Orleans has become my home. My kids are from New Orleans. I'll be in New Orleans till they decide they don't want me no more. So it's really just a one-way door. I want to be here. I'm going to be here till they kick me out. Then I have to stay here. I don't know. I don't know having plans at this point other than keep working hard and keeping on the same mentality. But I've got 2 years left on my current deal, unless y'all know that apparently there's a leak out here that there's an extension happening and nothing has been signed. So I'm still going to keep working and still being the same person I've always been.
If it does happen, though, what would that mean to you?
Theoretically?
Yeah.
I mean, we might dance tonight. My son's 4th birthday might be a little better today. My daughter turns 1 tomorrow, so somebody's going to have a heck of a birthday. Plus a heck of a birthday. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm fully blessed to be a part of this team, fully blessed to be a part of this organization. When you come in and you get drafted, come from the West Coast, you have this vision of grandeur. My dad played for the Vikings for 13 years. I always said I want to be the same team for the rest of my career. And this gives me an opportunity to extend to however long we go. Theoretically, if there's, at this point, nothing has been signed.
Okay, if you do sign, how good is just to get it out of the way?
So we're declaring it has not been signed. Great, wonderful, confirmation. I mean that's something you can relax and know that you're wanted in the area. At this point, again, I've always said it's not about being the highest paid player for me. I've got personal goals. At this point, as embedded as I am to this community, as much as I love this place, as much as my family is at home here, uprooting isn't really an option for me. I feel like if I go into the city, I've worked hard to be a part of the city. I want to know exactly what the city has in store, and I've always made that as open as possible. It's not about me. It's not about my family. It's about the collective. So you talk about all my teammates that I've worked hard from learning from Will Smith, John Vilma, having phenomenal teammates like Akeem Hicks, John Jenkins coming through, watching them do well. It's all about just the process of being here. You talk about bringing in guys like Marcus Davenport, Sheldon Rankins. I've been able to be a part of all of it, except the Super Bowl. So that's what we're headed towards. We got a singular focus. Go ahead, shoot.
Last year, you were one of the guys talking about prove them right. So do you have a slogan for this year yet?
I don't think we have a slogan for this year. At this point, it's the same mentality. Last year, you could feel like, we had to prove everybody that we were that team. I was hoping it's a cargo drop. I was hoping that was going to be my new bag coming down. But that's only in theory after you sign something, right?
My way to play that.
But when you talk about everything that you want to be in this city again, that's exactly where I want to be.
Cam, I know it's early and you can't see a lot with no hitting, but Marcus Davenport, you see a difference in him?
You saw him last year. I mean, he's freakishly talented. And for him to come in with that right mentality, he wants to get better. He had a little toe issue, a little Toby Bryant situation. Toby Lou's gotten a lot better. And when you talk about just his mental focus, his ability to process plays, when we put pads on, a lot of things will smooth out and you'll see how great he can be.
But in terms of the comfort level, just being here, you see a difference there?
Absolutely. Hence the mentality check. You have your mind right, you get your body right.
Can't we keep talking about the city kind of being part of this?
What you want me to say? You trying to go to Chipotle? Is that what you want to? Chipotle on me today? No? I'm just saying. I was throwing that out there.
I don't really eat Chipotle, so I don't. We can.
All right. All right.
The
tacos?
The city, though.
West Coast tacos? Crawfish tacos.
Is this
bring the West Coast to South?
Is this place like somewhere that you kind of feel
at home?
And then...
Yeah, I mean, I bike around here. I go from anywhere from Old Metairie to uptown. I walk across the street with the fam. Everybody knows me at the grocery store. My familiarity here has been welcomed. At this point, I feel like I am part of the city. Still need the Super Bowl, though.
Cam, lining up on the other side of Latavius Murray, what have you kind of seen from him as he's kind of gone through practices so far?
I mean, you feel like a guy with Latavius Murray's stature. I want to see him in pads. I mean, he's a big, powerful guy, and you see him running downhill a lot. He showed some shiftiness, but at the end of the day, he's going to be a power runner. And I can't wait to go see that on our side.
What was your thoughts this offseason when you seemed like every controversial play was compared to what happened to you guys?
My first thoughts was, dang, I miss my dog, Mark Ingram. But after that, this offseason, I mean, you just got to focus on you. You got to focus on what you can control. We took the lead early in that Rams game, and had we continued putting points on the board, had there been some defensive turnovers, had there been more opportunities for us to score more points, we'd never have to look back. You can't let anything ever get close, and when it gets close, now it becomes human opinion. Clearly human error. Wonderful.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
That was Cameron Jordan, number 94, defensive end for the New Orleans Saints from minicamp yesterday before he signed his big contract extension. It was signed this morning. Cam Jordan with the Saints through 2023, $52.5 million. He can accumulate with this incentive package in his contract. So guy got paid. Saints showed their loyalty towards Jordan because Jordan has really put in work for the Saints.
And Cam Jordan wishes he was here eating some of these shrimp, potatoes and sausage and corn, the bread pudding, which is outstanding here. I guarantee you Cam Jordan would be even happier if he was here eating this, and I'm going to have to wear them shrimp out here shortly.
And I tell you, they smell better than they look, if that's even
great.
possible.
I know. Again, Cam Jordan, wish he were here, but I'll eat one for him.
All right. I want to talk some NBA finals with you. I know you're not a real basketball junkie, but you pay attention to basketball. And NBA Finals going on. Game 6 tomorrow on NBC, 8 o'clock. The Toronto Raptors are at the Golden State Warriors, the last game in Oracle Arena in Oakland before they move over to San Francisco. Last game, Game 5. Kevin Durant had been out for a month. May 8th was the last time he played. Hearing some pressure. He's not working as hard as he could to get back, possibly. A lot of chirping, but he tries to play in Game 5. Came out hot, had 10 points quick, and then, had an injury. The Achilles goes out. Had the MRI, had surgery already. He's going to be out for at least, you'd think, 250, maybe 300 days. TK, my first question is, KD had to get outside counsel, right? You can't rely on your team doctors that are pushing. Everyone's pushing, and you can't lead up to the player either. The coach has to step up, say, no, you're not ready yet. We'll sit it out. Win or lose, your health is more important in this game.
Well, you can't leave it up to the player, because what player is not going to want to be out there with his teammates in the NBA Finals? It's unfortunate he got hurt. I hate to see any athlete get hurt in any sport, but he wanted to try to get out there. It didn't work, and then hindsight's 20/20. But it's going to change the structure of the whole league, free agency, which will affect the Pelicans in New Orleans. Yep. So, again, I hated to see him get hurt. I understand he wanted to be out there, and I guess, like you said, man, the coach, the front office, they need to, if the doctors cleared him, and, again, you can't go to the player. The player's going to want to play. Anybody going to want to go be out there. But if the doctors cleared him, and they didn't think it was going to cause any further injury, you put him out there, and then unfortunately the injury occurred.
But who was the outside opinion? There had to be a second opinion.
You got to ignore that noise.
Yeah.
Well, I thought you meant the commentary, social media.
No, I'm talking about there's a team doctor that's giving you one opinion. You have to go get your own physician to examine you and give you a second opinion. That doesn't have anything to do with basketball. Just worried about your condition, your health.
I would guess he did that.
Yeah.
But maybe he didn't. I don't know.
Right. I would need to know who that guy was and what was told to KD, because I'm reading that, team doctors were telling him he couldn't hurt it any more than it already was. He had the strain. It couldn't have got worse. He was going to play on and see how it felt. It got a lot worse. You mentioned free agency. Anthony Davis was expected to leave the Pelicans. David Griffin, the new EVP, thought he could talk him into it. That's not really going to happen. Some trade talk rumored, but now with KD going out, that guy was going to get a supermax contract somewhere, possibly the Knicks. Now, does that open up a door for Anthony Davis to get even more money to get lured away from the Pelicans?
Well, the Durant injury has created some more layers in a story that already had a lot of layers. So, and then obviously this affects the Pelicans. I mean, based on everything I know, the Pelicans need to turn the page. You get as much as you can get for him today, tomorrow, next week, next Wednesday, whatever, and make the deal and put an end to all this talk. And even if you think, man, we should try to get a better deal. No, then make the deal and get it done and move forward with all the new people in the front office and the excitement that's going to come with Zion Williamson and everything else. Get a deal done and get it over with. He'll sit out. He won't play. He'll sit out.
Right.
He financially can do that. So Pelicans, just get it done, get the most you can get for him, and go forward.
David Griffin has released a framework to possibly have a 3-team trade to the young player, an all-star, and a potential all-star, along with a good high pick in the draft, which is coming up June 20th. And David Griffin wants to get this deal done so he can start evaluating guys he might be drafting in the top 5 picks. So something's got to happen soon.
So we'll see how it goes, and there is some excitement in New Orleans with the #1 pick on the brink there, so we'll see what happens.
A lot going on in New Orleans. Football season just around the corner, as we showed you mini camp. That'll be ending tomorrow, Thursday morning. But a lot going on in New Orleans. I know you've been spending time with Moxie in New Orleans, so the city's hype, ready to get some things moving. The trade with Anthony Davis, I wouldn't be surprised if they had something done by next week, so David Griffin can really get into those draft picks and see who they're going to evaluate, who could help this franchise move forward from Anthony Davis.
Yeah, I would hope they can do that. The excitement about the Saints and certainly LSU football already getting a lot of conversation down in the Crescent City.
Well, the freshmen reported on Monday, and their numbers have been released, and we can show you that graphic really quick. Go over some key names and some numbers you'll be seeing this year.
Favorite thing.
Oh, that Cade York, number 36.
He better be able to kick.
Taking Cole Tracy's number, stepping into his shoes. That kid, I mean, they love him on campus already. They say he's got ice in his veins. Hopefully he can do something. There you see the rest of them. You see
Buddy will give it to you about 10 times on the radio.
Check out the Buddy Sanji Sports Talk Show on the radio. He'll give you the whole rundown. Definitely he loves the numbers, and it's cool to know who you're going to be rooting for.
Hey, we'll see. It's been great, man.
Well, TK, I want to thank you again for coming out. It's been a pleasure. Certainly miss you around.
I hope I can get back in a month or so.
Yeah, hopefully you can do it again with us. It's always a lot of fun to see you. Great to have you on Tigers Roar. Learn from the best, and I really do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Here on Tigers Roar, we couldn't do it without everybody in the truck, including Marty Campbell himself, our great floor director. I want to thank Greg in the truck. I want to thank Mr. Alan Trailer and everybody here at Pelican. I want to thank you for watching. Once again, I am Jonathan Poche. He is Tommy Chrysan. This has been Tigers Roar. Check us out next week.